I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have a few people who came here and looking to speak to us tonight, and I don't have any problem doing that. What I'd ask is just a couple of things. One, because a number of them are here looking like they want to speak on the same issue, please don't repeat what was said before you. And the policy of this school committee is to give everyone 3 minutes at that podium. So please do that. If we give people more and we go back and forth, we'll be here till midnight. So try and be courteous of that as well. I'm going to not take them in the order they were given to me, mainly because one of them is different than the rest. So I'm going to start with that one if I can. So Tracy, you're different than her. Yours says personnel recommendations and procedures. So I'm going to.
So I get to go first.
You get to go first.
Okay.
I don't want to make you wait for everybody else to do what you have.
Maybe some of my questions will be answered for other people. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for the I'm here, Tracy McGee, 2 Prudence Lane, Warren. So for the purpose of public understanding and perception, and of course your all constant goal of transparency, I just want to ask a couple of questions that probably have some clear-cut answers, but may help a lot of the community in general, and the community at large in Bristol Warren that is buzzing. So first off, this school year coming up, the 17-18 school year, we'll keep it simple, we'll keep it at K-2. Will there be the same number of kindergartens, first grades, and second grades across the district?
Okay, that question really can't be answered on June 26th because we don't have all of our registrations in here.
Okay, so first and second, you have no plans?
We don't have, right, as far as historically is concerned, so and I know you know this, you were here and you still work in a system. We get registrations up till about a week before school starts. So the final determination is made until all the registrations, all the ins and outs come. And once that happens, then the determination is made as to how many classrooms there will be and how many staff members there will be in front of those classrooms.
So then it would be noted that you would post your postings at the end of August?
It depends on the timing of things. If we get things before then that mean we need another teacher, those are usually done in advance. And if we don't have the information, I mean, probably 5 years ago, we brought a teacher in 4 days before the start of school and added class because enrollments increased. It all depends on when the enrollments come. We don't have control over the public when they.
Okay, so I'll ask that question in a different manner. Was it budgeted for the same number of teachers across each of the grade levels? Keep it simple, K-2.
I don't have the budget here. I mean, you're more than welcome to answer it, Mark, if you want. That's right.
The simple answer is that in our budget proposals for the JFC, we eliminated 5 elementary teachers.
And in the K-2 realm?
So there, in our proposal, it was an elimination of one at Colt Andrews and 2 at Hugh Cole.
1 at Colt Andrews and 2 at Hugh Cole. And you have plans of adding other bubble classrooms at other schools?
So, as Mr. Silva said, we're watching our K enrollment, especially at the terrace right now. And then we have 4 new teachers that are needed at the high school. But elementary, there's no additional levels.
So what is the process that you'll enter into? The step-by-step process of how these positions are filled with internal candidates? Will you open up any of these these positions that are open to internal candidates first and then external candidates? I know the answer to this question. You need to present it
Please
to.
don't take this the wrong way, Trace. That really isn't something for discussion at this meeting. Our policy for hiring people?
Not your policy for hiring, because you would have the ultimate decision on the hiring.
No, but you're asking about what we do for posting jobs.
That's not public record?
It is a public policy, but this isn't, I'm not going to engage in a discussion back and forth about what we do for everything. If you're looking to apply for a position, contact the HR department, they'll give you all the rules and instructions. I can say that to anybody that's here. If they want a job here in this district, contact the Human Resources Department of the school, and we have a policy.
So do internal people have the opportunity to interview for jobs before external people?
If their contract says they do, then they do.
That's fine. Then the contract is what stands. Okay. And I think that you've answered the rest of those questions. But there is just a lot of us that I think that the school committee needs to be aware of, and I can hear it way down my end of town. So, you know, it's information that you should know. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Elizabeth O'Shea. Press the button. Yes,
So you press the button when you're speaking.
Yeah, just as long as the light's on and the mic, you're all set. Just say your name and where you live for the record.
Okay, Elizabeth O'Shea, 13 Foster, Bristol. Thank you for taking comments. I'm Elizabeth O'Shea. I'm the parent to Esme and Autumn O'Shea, both kindergartners from this past year at Old Andrews School, will be first graders next year. So a group of us from Old Andrews heard rumors first that a first grade teacher position had been cut for next school year. We were unsure of those rumors. We spoke with the principal, Kate Wolf. She confirmed that a teacher had been cut. So we started a petition that is being circulated around you, as well as every school board member got a copy through email. Thank you for those that responded. And the petition was presented to Dr. Andre in a meeting with the parents from Old Andrews on the 13th of June. That meeting was 14 concerned parents, where we voiced our concerns to Dr. Andre. Thank you very much for meeting with us. It was an enlightening meeting, but it left us still with some concerns, so that's why we're here tonight. We are very concerned that there isn't an actual cap of 24 students in elementary, and 24 students for K through 3 we think is really way too many anyway, but that the district would even think of going over 24 students, and I realize they have, is really just unthinkable to me, and to every parent that I've talked to. We're incredibly concerned for our students, our children that are going into first grade next year, who may face a class we don't even know, 26, 27 kids. We couldn't get an actual limit on the class. That is what we're most concerned with. And Dr. Andrew told us that definitely if it was 24 in the class, that there would be 2 teachers instead of 3. 24 to 25, probably still 2 teachers. And beyond that, we're not sure. The only thing that Dr. Andrea did say was we would have a class of 30. So we're a bit unhappy with that resolution. We agreed to meet with Dr. Andrea in August because, of course, we do not know the final enrollment. For the year, but it's really unlikely, I believe, to go below 24 children. The other thing at Colt Andrews is that there are typically 3 classes per grade. The kindergarten coming in definitely needs 3 teachers. So this is a 1-year solution. The teacher will have to be reinstated into 1st grade next year. So now, the 2nd grade teacher is going to be worried about their position. The 3rd grade teacher, what you're doing to morale in the school for a very short-term solution just does not seem warranted. I know Dr. Andrea kept saying that it was too early really to talk about the final, I guess, outcome to this. But even what we heard, we're not happy with a class size of over 24. I made a copy of the teacher contract, which I highlighted, and all the school board members should have, which states class size. The school committee and the association recognize the desirability of achieving optimum teaching learning conditions by assuring workable class size. The parties agreed to the following class size limits: K through 5, 24 students. I know that is a limit that has been exceeded, and you pay the teacher more to teach a class over 24, but how do you compensate the students in that class? So I just ask that you please put the students first. They really, really deserve a better chance. Kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, I mean, this is when the kids are learning to read. If they don't have too many kids in the class, they really cannot focus, they do not get the individual attention they deserve, and it will affect their entire academic careers as well as their lives. Also, I had a question as to why the classes work sizes weren't balanced at the beginning of last year. Is I have the Gutierrez, which typically has 2 classes, had 45 children enrolled, and Rockwell had 48 children enrolled, which also typically has 2 classes. Why were students not moved to Colt Andrews so that we don't face this situation right now?
I can have someone get back to you with an answer, but it's not something that I can give to you off the top of my head, or I can ask anybody else to do that. But there are numbers of reasons why things are that way. Maybe it was enrollment, they were in there from a prior year. Maybe there could have been other reasons. I don't really know. But there are a number of issues and considerations that get taken into place and determine how many students in each class and where they're going to be. It could be a busing issue, it could be other issues.
But that line, the line between the Colt Andrews area, the Gutierrez and the line between the Gutierrez area and the Rockwell area and the Colt Andrews area has been moved.
No, there are policies that determine what region you live in to go to which school. They're not moved, there are overlaps. The line doesn't, it's not that the line moves, there are overlaps that when you're going into one facility, so to speak, and you bring up, I'll stop with Rockwell, when those classes are filled, then everybody in the other district or the rest of the students go to the terrace. And that moves the line down, so to speak, but there's overlapped areas. That's some year you could be on A Street and be at Rockwell, another year you could be at Terrace, one year you could be at the Terrace, one year if you're an incoming student, you could be at Colt Andrews. All of those things overlap. There's no defined line that just says you're definitely going to this school when you're in that line. It goes by the enrollment figures.
All right. And in our meeting with Dr. Andrea, he acknowledged that class size does matter. I provided you a few articles. One in particular, the STAR study that was done out of Tennessee, that is the most often cited peer-reviewed study on class size, which showed long-lasting positive outcomes both academically, socially, graduation rates, everything for smaller class sizes in kindergarten through third grade. I think it's pretty clear. I am a teacher. Most academics that I've ever spoken to understand that the research is pretty clear for K through 3, maybe a little bit fuzzy after that, but also being an educator, I know how important class size is even in the higher grades. Yeah, and my other question then is, how do we get an actual count on class size?
There's really no definitive answer to that question either. I'm sorry to say it this way, but we deal with budgets, we deal with finances, we deal with everything. So to have us say we're going to definitively say there's not going to be anybody more than any number higher than this means we need to get a blank check so that when we bring in another teacher, we have the money to pay for it somewhere.
No, I understand the budget concerns, but as budgets are getting tighter and tighter, as taxpayers in this town and parents of children in the younger grades, this is not the place to cut. This should be the first priority for any budget.
There isn't anybody on this board that's disagreeing with you. So if you want to know definitive answers like that, we don't have them. I'd love to sit here and say, how do I definitively get to know that I'm going to get the budget I request so I can hire those teachers the superintendent wants to hire? I don't think you can answer that one either.
Okay. But as a school committee, agreeing with the teachers union, you've agreed that it is desirable to have classes under 24 under in the elementary school. So I think that you maybe all agree with that, and we'd just like to hear some commitment in getting that. Thank you.
Anne Marie Shaw.
Hello, I'm Anne Marie Chappelle. I live on 195 Bayview Ave, and I have one child going into first grade. She was at Cold Andrews this past year. She had a very successful year in kindergarten, and she really blossomed. She had so much growth academically, socially, and I fear that a large class is going to diminish that. Is going to become difficult for her and other children to succeed. The first point, is why we're here, is the classroom sizes. So far, some that they're going to be too big for K through 3, and this will be detrimental to the children's academics. In particular, growth in reading will suffer greatly. Our children will fall behind in reading. Falling behind in reading will affect all subjects greatly, especially math. This will leave less time for science and other subjects. They will be behind. I think they're doing well now, but they will be behind. Many of them will be. This will have negative effects on behavior, having a larger class size. And there will be behavior issues for individual children and for the class as a whole. The negative effects will further the detrimental effects on the children's academic beginnings with reading. There will not be enough time to assess individual strengths and weaknesses with reading and other subjects. Children who need more help to keep up will suffer. Children who need to be challenged will be bored. And all in between will not have or learn the tools necessary to succeed. Negative effects that 2 classrooms at this time for the size of the class expected will affect our children for their entire lives, their entire academic careers. We need a solution. We need to put our children first. These grades are key learning times. We need to give them their best chances for success. We have the option to bring back the teacher before the 2017-18 school year begins. That is the solution. Bring the teacher back now and continue to have the best possible results for our children. If a third teacher is brought in after the start of the school year, the children will be disrupted even further than having large classes. How can we have a policy implemented to put a cap on the number of students? We feel that the number of students at 24 is too high. So we can compromise on that and say that maybe that can be a cap. And I spoke with someone at RIDE, and they said that at this level, it can be implemented. Not at the state level, but at the district level. So it is possible. When can that happen? How can we help make that happen?
I don't want you to think I'm not looking to answer you, but it's really the same question I answered already. There are a lot of factors that come into consideration in doing anything. And one of the things that everybody needs to understand is that the school committee negotiated the contract you're referring to. And the size was put there because, it's what we believe as well. There isn't anyone up here that's going to say, no, we should have 30 kids in the classroom in front of the teacher, with a teacher in front of them. But we have to look at everything. This district has been looking for different ways to save money or to cut expenditures as the cost of all services that we provide have continued to rise. We've done anything and everything we could do that does not directly affect a student. That's our first goal, is to touch those things. That's why bus routes have been realigned. That's why we have a director of pupil personnel services who have tried to provide services in district rather than ship everybody out and pay exorbitant tuitions other places. There have been a number of things of that nature that have been done. We get to a point where when we have to cut money, we need to look someplace, and what's happening and what you're here talking about is the last place that this committee and this administration was, because we recognize the fact that it does directly affect kids. It's not the optimal thing to do, and it's not something that any of us like or want to do. But when we have to balance a budget, that's what we do it as a last resort. If there are other places, we look at those things first. But the ultimate decision comes from what the student enrollment is and what the funds we have to pay for it. This has been something we've been doing for years at various schools. When class size increases in the elementary level, depending on how big it gets and what the, how do I say this, the makeup of the students are, then it sometimes is an additional aid that's put in the classroom to assist the teacher, so there's more one-on-one